Los Angeles.
1992, there was a riot, Rodney King, called Rodney King Riot, LA riots. It was a really tough time for racism, and I guess a good time for racism because people finally did something about it.
LA already had a bad rap for race, and that definitely boiled over, when they got off all the cops that beat Rodney King. So that's kind of setting the tone as to what's going on at that time. Flash forward to that, 1995. This OJ Simpson is accused of murdering his ex-wife at the time, and her boyfriend, whoever that was, Ron Goldman. How the prosecution and how the LAPD came to that is kind of iffy at best. 9:36, find the bloody gloves. One outside the Bundy house and one outside of OJ's house. 9:30 to 9:45, right? Charles Cale walking his dog by Simpson's Rockingham residence doesn't see the white Bronco. 10:15, the prosecution says that's the period of time in which he murdered those two people. The
defense claims
defense claims is 10:40, obviously pushing the timeline a lot further back and not allowing time for him to kill two people in a long time. I mean, it took a long time to kill those people. Whoever killed them took a long time. That whole situation, I think, drug out for probably about, I would say, close to 30 minutes to an hour easily.
To stab.
To that, because there was an argument. They said that there was an argument before that, and they were arguing. People heard yelling. It wasn't immediate, so it would have to be longer than that. So 10:40 is impossible for that to happen in that time. So that's why the defense says that, because he wouldn't have enough time. So argue with both of them. Argue with Nicole. Ron Goldman walks by or walks in or walks out with a robe or whatever they were gonna do, because there's candles all over their house. He sees him. Whoever OJ would see him, get mad at her, have a knife with him, so he would have to go there. It's premeditated
murder. Why
murder.
would you think that he even stopped there? Because he was supposed to be at a recital with his daughter or something like that. What would make him go to the house? Because he skipped lunch or dinner with his daughter after the recital or something. They said, why? I just want to know why if he did do that, why did he go to that house? Did he know the guy was there? Did he want to just say something to his wife? Did he freaking want to drop something off for his daughter or something? What made him go there?
He could have just gone there just because he likes to spy on Nicole, which was something that he did used to do. She was at the recital, so I think that she was going to get something to eat after that. He knew where she was going to go to eat. From what I heard, we gotta.
But I thought he was supposed to go too to get something.
He was supposed to go. He was supposed to
get
go.
a cheeseburger with
Kato. He didn't want to go with them. But they weren't having probably the best time at that time, because they're already divorced at that time. I think he probably went later, but probably apologized. Maybe that could be the reason why he went to her house. So 10:22, 10:30, limo driver Alan Park, scheduled to take Simpson to the airport, does not see a Bronco in Rockingham. That's what he says. Okay, So let's take eyewitness testimony and a little bit of grain of salt, because they're not that reliable. 10:43.
He buzzes his intercom.
He buzzes the intercom, gets no response. Okay. 10:50. So that's 10:40, 10:43, 10:49. They're not sure exactly what time that is. 10:50. White or light Bronco observed at intersection of Bundy and Dorothy. So that would be right by where Nicole's house would be. 10:52 p.m. Kato Kalin hears thumps on the wall outside his room. So his room, he's in the guest house, but his guest house is connected to the main house. 10:54, Alan Park sees a man wearing dark clothes, about 6 feet tall and 200 pounds, walk across the driveway of Simpson's residence. There was a history of Nicole Simpson and OJ Simpson having the domestic violence, definitely, and the cops were called there
several times.
Several times.
They never did anything. She was beat up. She had marks on her face and everything. Her family said they seen her face. And they just didn't do anything because he was famous or something. Which
the police, they say that the police
just slapped him on the wrist.
Yeah, never wanted to do anything about it because he was OJ Simpson, and he did have a relationship
with the police and with white people golfing and all that stuff.
Yeah, he had pull. That's definitely that can't be denied. Okay, so hair evidence. So they said they have hair evidence there. Hair is consistent with that of Simpson, found on cap at Bundy residence. Okay.
A baseball cap or?
No, I'm thinking it's a skull cap or something like that. So that's not that uncommon. I mean, he obviously visited her. He's probably worn things. Just the fact that there are things that are consistent with that, because again,
if anything was found in the house, it shouldn't even qualify
it shouldn't
as
be
evidence.
evidence. Shouldn't be evidence. But even at that time, I don't think they had the same analysis as far as hair-wise as we do now than they did then. So it's hair consistent. So it could be, it could be a black person's hair.
That's all it is.
So it could be a son's hair. It could be a lot of people's hair
Friend's hair, AC's hair.
have similar hair. Okay. So hair is consistent with that of Simpson found on Ron Goldman's shirt. Okay. Now that's something definitely different. But now they pointed out the defense pointed out in the case that when they covered the bodies, they brought blankets from the house or other things from the house, and they put them on the bodies.
Which was stupid.
Okay, fiber evidence. Cotton fibers consistent with the carpet in the Bronco found on glove at Rockingham. Okay, that's very specific. Okay, that's somewhat of a reach to me. But fibers consistent with the carpet from the Bronco found on cap at Bundy residence. Okay, again, there's lots of ways that could happen. How many cars have that interior, though?
Yeah, lots of them.
Blood evidence. Killer dropped blood near shoe prints at Bundy. So there's shoe prints that are there. He drops, whoever killed them, dropped blood next to the shoe prints. Okay. Blood dropped at Bundy was of same type as Simpson's. About 0.5% of the population would match. Like that DNA, it can't be looked at the way that we look at DNA now. It's not possible. They didn't have the technology to do that, okay? They're saying that it's so similar that only 0.5% of other people could it even match to. But
that's very fucking rare, though.
Okay, Simpson had fresh cuts on left hand. Cuts, they're saying multiple. On left hand and on day after murder. Blood found in Bronco. Blood found in foyer and master bedroom of Simpson home. Blood found on Simpson's driveway. Blood on socks in OJ's home match Nicole's. Now that's a little more concrete there, Glove evidence. Left glove.
The left glove was found at Bundy. The right glove was found at the Simpsons residence as Aries light gloves, size XL. And they also had receipts that they picked. Right. Oh, well, there they go. Nicole Brown bought a pair of these same Aries Light XL gloves in 1990 at Bloomingdale's, which they found the receipts rummaging through her stuff or whatever.
And Simpson wore the gloves.
Aries Light glove in 1990 to June 1994.
Yeah, so shoe evidence. Shoe prints found at Bundy were from a size 12 Bruno Magli shoe. Bloody shoe impression on Bronco carpet is consistent with a Magli shoe. Simpson wore a size 12. Lots of people wear a size 12. Other evidence. They called him up. They told him what happened with the murder. They told him that Nicole was dead. His response is, wow, that's messed up, or something in that nature. Not how did she die, where did she die, all that. So Simpson did not testify at his criminal trial. A lot of defense lawyers would put their client up on the stand.
Subsequent to the trial, defense attorneys talking about the trial have been careful to say the jury did the right thing while not stating that Simpson was in fact innocent.
And that's one of the things that I always come back to. No one said that Simpson was innocent, but the prosecution, the LAPD, the district attorney, the DA, the prosecution, the LAPD did such a horrible job that we cannot convict this person because you haven't given us enough evidence to prove that he is the only one or he is the person who killed these people. The prosecution messed themselves up by putting so much nonsense and allowing it to become such a circus, by putting Mark Furman on the stand, by putting LAPD officers who are taking evidence home in their trunk and leaving it overnight, by putting up forensic scientists who say that they may have accidentally tainted the DNA evidence. There's so many things that they could have done different, obviously, but they didn't do that.
Okay, I want to get into the book, If I Did It. Why would you write a book like that? For one, you're a dad, you have the same kids, your kids are going to grow up, they're probably already grown, I don't know how old they are, I'm sure they're at least in late teens or something like that. They're seeing that their dad wrote a book if he killed their mother. Like, why the heck would you write a book like that?
Infamy is still better than nothing. I mean, because even at that time, well, to him it is. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, I saw him in the Naked Gun movies, but I didn't know who that was. I didn't know who he was. That's not somebody I grew up with.
I only remember him in the Hertz commercials. That's the only thing I ever remember him from.
You could argue he's the most famous that he's ever been, even in the early 70s and the 60s.
And he was also saying in an interview, I don't know if this was in his book, I never read the book, but he was giving the whole story about him and some guy named Charlie. Honest right now, do you think he did it or do you think he didn't do it?
I don't think he did it.
So you don't have
I think somebody, I think he knew somebody who did it.
So you think he's innocent and you're glad that he got
I don't think he's innocent. I think that he had something to do with it, but I don't think that he actually killed him. Or if he did, he only killed Nicole and somebody else killed Ron or something like that.
So if he did, now we're gonna get into who did it, because obviously you have an opinion or something like that. Who do you think did it?
His son probably killed them, most likely. They didn't get along. I know that, and there's theories out there that say that his son blamed a lot of the way that OJ changed on Nicole. And he fits a description of the same person, though, of the same thing. He's basically exactly like his father.
Yeah,
he's 6 foot, hair follicles, they have similar DNA.
I can see that.
He's big, too. Look at this. When whoever murdered Nicole and Ron took a long time to do it. They were stabbed so many times.
They were very passionate.
Why. But it took a long time. If somebody took that much time, why would they be leaving in a rush? I think probably what happened is that maybe his son was there. His grown sister. Son was an adult base at that time. He was 18 years old. He wasn't a child at that time. So maybe OJ leaves the recital, goes to the restaurant. Nobody's at the restaurant. He goes to Nicole's house. His son is doing basically the same thing. He goes there. He sees Nicole and Ron together, saying like, all these things, confronting her about something. Things get out of hand. He grabs a knife. He's in the middle of killing them. Ron jumps out and tries to defend himself, which they said he was defending himself, and he was defensive towards the person who killed them. He jumps in. He stabs him. They're both still alive. OJ goes to the house. He sees basically the end of it. He tells his son to leave, and everything is like, obviously the last part of it when they're leaving is so split second.
Secret. So you think his son is Charlie?
No, maybe
his theory, because he was saying Charlie was the first to attack.
One person didn't do it. He wasn't the smartest guy from what everybody has said, right? So, but the prosecution, LAPD, painted him as being like this contract killer. Okay, so if he's a natural killer, and he's coming up with this giant scheme of hiding weapons and hiding everything and hiding all this stuff.
He would have left a trail.
Yeah, how would he leave that big of a trail? That doesn't make any sense. And I get it, he could leave a trail, but not the way that the prosecution was painting him to be. Wouldn't match up with the evidence that they found. When OJ was acquitted, obviously OJ's relieved, whatever, all his lawyers, Johnny Cochran and Bob Shapiro, are, making him, consoling him and stuff like that. But his son, and I don't like doing the body language thing, but his son is breaking down crying. But his son was more relieved for him getting off than OJ was. And it's like, I guess you can read into that, but it's like his son obviously, if his son did do it, he doesn't want his father to go to jail for it, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. And if OJ knew that his son did it, or knows that somebody close to him did it, it had to be a family member, so it had to be his son. He doesn't want his son to go to jail either, though. So he's gonna. I'm not saying this was his master plan, but he goes on trial. He gets the best lawyers that money can buy. They get him off. They don't convict him beyond a reasonable doubt, because there isn't any evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that he did do it. The LAPD rushed to judgment, I think, and by doing that, they gathered the evidence that would fit for OJ to be the murderer. And I don't think that if he was a murderer, he wasn't alone. What happened? Okay, the glove. They found the gloves. I think they found socks, and they found some other stuff. What happened to the clothes that he was wearing? When did he take a shower? And maybe at the time they didn't have this, but did they test his shower? Is there blood in the shower? Is there blood? Okay, but that can even think about it. If his son did it and he basically forced his son to leave the scene, that could explain why there's blood in his room. That could explain why there's blood on a sock. Why would he have blood all over his sock, and what happened to his t-shirt? What happened to his pants? Why doesn't he have blood in his hair? You know what? Why didn't the limo see blood in his hair? The limo driver see blood in his hair. What happened to all these other evidence, all the other things? Where's the knife? What happened to all this stuff?
Yeah, you get rid of that stuff. That's
yeah,
the
but
first
where
thing
though?
to get rid of.
You think OJ
Wherever.
did it? You think OJ had enough in him and thought enough about just dropping, but no one else found it?
OJ has friends, AC or whoever.
Okay.
Even Rob Kardashian wouldn't be surprised. They said they called Rob and Rob took a bag or something like that.
Yeah, but he wasn't in there.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, you seen what was in the bag later down the line.
They're saying that he took the murder weapon and the bullet clothes to Chicago and he dropped it in the trash. But he got. I think he didn't throw it away. He didn't throw it away in garbage cans and behind the houses.
Or he has a stash in his house and he left there and a later time he got
maybe.
rid of it.
I just think it's a little bit out of the realm of possibilities that he could have done this and basically almost been a perfect murder, almost, except for the blood obviously there and whatever and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
far from perfect. 80 stabs is not a perfect
But
murder.
there was enough questions. There's no weapon. What happened to all the clothes? Why wasn't he covered in blood? Why didn't he have more wounds? You can easily explain the fact that he got that wound by grabbing his son.
His personal freaking actions just sets himself up.
There's just
and the moves that he makes, like I said, just as far as just riding away and trying to kill yourself and everything like that, it's just why? If you're innocent, why are you trying to kill yourself? You have faith in the justice system, and you ain't got time to think about killing yourself. You want to think about who the fuck killed my wife, who's not my kids.
But you could argue that like he doesn't want to be seen in that way. A lot of that can be explained away by having some type of mental disorder or having CTE
that's the
or something
thing.
like
that.
That's because it's just erratic behavior. I mean, erratic behavior is hard to explain, obviously, because it's so erratic and we don't know what people are thinking at that time. But I think a lot of that could just be is the fact that he probably has CTE even now. I mean, I get it. He had it for a long time. A lot of people. A lot of people who have CTE or had CTE killed themselves too. Similar fashions, like they'll just blow their brains out or shoot themselves in the heart or something like that. I mean, before the murder, I definitely respect him because he came from nothing and he made himself into a multi-millionaire. So that you have to have something to make yourself into that. But I don't think he was the smartest guy. And I think a lot of things that he says, just like with a lot of people, you look at a lot of sports and a lot of athletes, they say things that they don't really mean, but they don't know how to articulate it, Mm-hmm. And then that's not saying that a lot of athletes are dumb, but like you look at some athletes, they just don't know how to articulate. I think a lot of the things that he said that comes off the wrong way is just that the fact that he just can't get the right words out, basically. But I don't think that necessarily means that he's guilty, and I think there's a lot of questions.
Well, me personally, I do think he's guilty. I don't know how. I'm not gonna go into all the facts.
Why wouldn't he leave the knife there?
Why would you? You're trying to get rid of evidence as much as possible.
But you think he's thinking that far ahead of time?
Fingerprints. No, but I'm just saying the first thing everybody knows, trying to get rid of the murder weapon. It's in movies. It's in everything. Don't leave a murder weapon. That's number one. I'm surprised he left a glove, but you don't leave the murder weapon. Like that's the only thing. If you take anything from a crime scene, you want to take the murder weapon. That's the number one thing. But I think it's not that he did it, and it ain't so much as his being awesome lawyers, and so much that the prosecution sucks ass or whatever. Like they just had their stuff together properly, or didn't have the right people in place or the right team behind them. They said that girl was like doing most stuff by herself. She had a little bit of help, but she was doing a lot of stuff by herself, working like 20 hours a day, whatever. But I think in all, it was kind of like LA or America or the media kind of giving black people one.
It created the 24/7 cycle of news. I mean, that was one of the first times that that's ever happened. You're talking about networks that have things filmed and ready to go with TV shows that are canceling them for a week.
NBA
or for
playoffs.
months. Yeah, for months.
Yeah.
Just to broadcast that. And it's more popular now than it's ever been. Which says something about just what that represented, not exactly what the murders were and whether he did it or not, but just what everything was, and the fact that it happened in L.A. and Los Angeles with the LAPD, and knowing what we know now about the LAPD and the Rampart scandal and everything that they've gone through, and the FBI taking over and cleaning up the department and everything like that, it just was it was a powder keg waiting to explode, and this was one of the things that happened.
whether he did or not, he's living a terrible life. Every video I see, every picture I see of him, he just doesn't look happy. He doesn't look.
He gained a lot of attention. He gained a lot of notoriety, but he lost all the people that were around him.
All his friends, everybody.
He lost everything.
I don't even know if AC still hangs out with him.
He probably still does. But after the fact, things got somber from him. He went to jail, and he's an old man now. He's on his. I'm not saying he's gonna die soon, but I don't know if he has that much time. I mean, who knows? He might live to be 120. But I don't know. But it just put things in retrospect. The two biggest stars in the 60s, 70s, and some parts of the 80s. And look at them now. OJ Simpson, Bill Cosby.